Welcome to tutorial on how I use this resource with my students. So I'll share any tips and tricks that work for me, but of course do feel free to modify as you see fit for your own students. This is the third and final of the Magical Portal series, and this has a little more advanced concept than the previous two. So feel free to check out the other two videos because each activity has its own quirk, so they're in a separate video, okay? But this one is still suitable for students who are familiar with who, where questions and know some of the common locations and occupation names and familiar with prepositions. So if they're ready to use these in context, this would be a great activity. And it's also suitable for students who are a little more advanced and learning to answer why or how do you know questions to tell a reason to justify their answers. So this is the first page you'll see. It says press here. And this will just walk you through the written instructions with sample scripts. But I'll go over all of that in this tutorial. So let's go to Ready to Travel. And this is the first page that your students will see. So I'll say something like, okay, today we're going to go through a magic portal to go back home because this is not your home. So when we press this remote control, and wait, it's going to download our next destination or location. Okay, so let's be patient. It might be slow. Click on it and you go to the first download page. So what you're going to do is it's slowly downloading. So you're going to grab the top portion of this white piece and you can slowly drag it down as if it's downloading. Okay, we have a little more information. It's downloading, it's slow, but you see more. Okay, so where do you think we're at? And they might say swimming pool. And if they say that, you're going to ask them, so how do you know? Why do you think it's a swimming pool or water park? And they'll say something like, because there's water flying all over the place and water is pouring out of a barrel. Okay, and then you can press the loading sign and go to the next page. Correct, we are at a swimming pool. And just like the other two series, there's somebody that shows up and it'll tell you where that person shows up at. Who showed up in front of the owl under the barrel? So this is why it's a little more complex than the other two series. Okay, it'll tell you exactly where it's supposed to go. Okay, in front of the owl under the barrel. Who? And you can discuss who this might be. Somebody going down at a water park. Who could it be? Have some ideas. Poof, and you can click on it and it'll disappear. So this is a diver. Actually, this one is not very appropriate because children should not be diving head forward at a water park. So even have that discussion, but water and a diver, they go together. So there she is. So once you figure out who it is, you're going to click on her and go to the next page. But this is not our home, so we're going to go home. Let's find the next portal. On the top left corner, you'll see where the next portal should go. The next remote is found in the water pouring from the barrel. So this is a good place to exercise receptive language. You can have the students point to the location where it should go, or if you're in a remote telehealth platform, you can give the student control and have them move it into the spot. Okay, once it's there, you can click and go to the next scene. Again, grab and slowly load and try to figure out where we ended up at. Doctor's office, but how do you know? Again, talk about these equipments, click on the downloading icon, and then you'll have the next location. Okay, so that's how it goes. And you'll go through different portals until you get to your home. So, yay, I think we got home. So congratulations, you made it. It looks like a meeting is going on. So this time you'll see the home inside the computer screen. It's kind of silly. And something about this activity is that all of the activities in the series has a little twist at the end, which may or may not get a giggle out of your students. So this one, you say, it looks like a meeting's going on. So shall we join the meeting? Are you ready? And boom. Whoa. Is that you? Are you still in bed? So if it's appropriate for students, You can probably tease them if appropriate and say, hey, are you still sleeping and not joining the meeting? You know, your students, if they don't like it, you can just say, this person's not joining, they're still asleep. So, hey, somebody logged in next to the person. Drag it in next to, and they're here to wake you up. Let's see who it could be. Oh, it's a trumpet player. You can press on it and they make a noise. Feel free to blow more than once if you'd like. If it's annoying, you can always stop it by clicking on the sound, like so. Okay. So, well, he's making the noise, but the person's not waking up. So I guess it's time to log off. So you can just click on the stop button to go to the last page. Now that's enough screen time. So go really rest your eyes. Bye. And that's how it goes. As always, use it as creatively as you like, and I hope you and your students enjoy this adventure. Have fun.